Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a surreal feeling. We did it.
The Celtics are the balls.
Oh my God, we did it.
All right, friends, this is a special moment. Welcome to the inaugural show for the delusional Celtics fan. My Twitter followers, all three of them, have been clamoring for this. And by clamoring, I mean they replied to one tweet saying I should do this. This is actually my second take. I tried this like 25 minutes earlier, but I realized that talking to no one is kind of difficult. So I brought the Jayson Tatum Funko Pop. He's going to be the person I'm mostly talking to. And let's see. Format, there's going to be no plan, no structure. This is unadulterated, pure, straight from the brain, off the top, freestyle delusion for your eyes and ears. I did write down a little bit of stuff that I wanted to talk about because we're just going to talk about that triggered me. Damn, I don't want to swear. I think I have to start over. Maybe I'll bleep it. I can bleep it. Okay, here's what we're going to start off with a tweet that triggered me this week. I'm sure if you're a Celtics fan, if you're on Twitter, if you're on my Twitter, @DelusionalCelts then you would have seen this on your timeline. Richard Jefferson, here's what he said, and I'm going to pull it up because I want to get it correct. He said, this is a tweet from NBA Central, not Centel, okay? NBA Central, if you take Jayson Tatum off the Celtics and put Donovan Mitchell, they still win, and he still averages 25 points a game, Richard Jefferson. And you know what? This actually isn't as bad as the double down we're going to get from him on his quote. I'm going to try to put this on the screen too. He then quotes this, and he says, this is not a knock on JT. I believe there are 5 to 6 players on this level. Ant, Shea, Donovan, Luka. I believe if you put these top 10 players on the Celtics, they would still be dominant. This is a 1. Donovan is on that level. And 2, Celtics are that loaded. Okay, first of all, this triggers me for several reasons. First of which being there are not 5 to 6 players that are on the level of Jayson Tatum. And Anthony Edwards, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Donovan Mitchell, and Luka. Those are 4 guys that are all not as good as Jayson Tatum, but that's a conversation for a different video. Here's what really grinds my gears about this conversation, especially when it comes to, let's just start with where it's the worst, with Donovan Mitchell. Because to say that you could swap Jayson Tatum for Donovan Mitchell into what the Boston Celtics do, to me, Richard, I'm talking to you right now, actually, if you ever see this to me sounds like a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes the Celtics and specifically Jayson Tatum so good. And the big thing with Jayson Tatum is, and I know this argument loses a little bit of juice with the Olympics, but whatever, that's another video, that's a different time. Jayson Tatum is the most portable superstar in basketball. I think he does more individual things on the court than any other person. Because they asked Jayson Tatum to play point guard. You watched it in the finals. He led the Celtics in assists. He was the primary playmaker on a considerable portion of their possessions. Also, you asked Jayson Tatum to be the screener. They asked Jayson Tatum to be the roll man. They post him up. They ask him to defend. They ask him to defend bigs, and they ask him to defend guards. He switches. He protects the rim. He's the best rebounder in green, and he has been for 5 years at least. And to suggest that you could replace like your 6'10" power forward with, what is Donovan Mitchell? I'm going to Google this because this is going to upset me. How tall is Donovan Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell is 6'3". That would make him the smallest player on the court for the green team. Probably. Pretty sure both Drew and Derek are bigger than that. So if you're going to replace your power forward with a 6'3" scoring guard who is not known for his defense at all and is not an above average rebounder for his size, let alone for the game, because JT is one of the best rebounders in the game, point blank, period. And then you're running a lineup with what? Tell me, Richard, you're running a lineup with Drew Holiday, Donovan Mitchell, Derek White, and then what, Jaylen Brown at the 4? Is Jaylen Brown the new 4 for the Celtics? Tell me how that works. No, like, because I tweeted this week. If you take Jayson Tatum off of the Celtics, what every major media outlet would say is that the Celtics have a rebounding problem. They'd say it's a weakness. They'd say, oh, you want to beat the Celtics? Crash the offensive glass because they don't have guys that could get defensive rebounds. Porzingis is a little bit below average of a rebounder for a guy who's 7'3". Al Horford is not the world's best defensive rebounder. He's only probably 6'9", 6'10", and obviously he's on the older side. And then what are you relying on? Luke Cornett? And then I think Luke Cornett is borderline a starting caliber big man in the NBA. I love me some Luke Cornett. Don't get me wrong. But without Jayson Tatum, you have a dramatic hole in your rebounding scheme. Jayson Tatum, let's not forget, in the finals, check ball, JT's guarding Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. And we didn't have a rebounding problem in the finals at all. And if you replace a player like that, a player who does all these other things too, a player who is the role man consistently in the Celtics offense, and a role man who's capable of getting the rock and playing it as the pick and roll handler. Donovan Mitchell isn't doing all that. Donovan Mitchell is going to ISO score. He's going to run his high pick and roll, but offensively, that's just about what you get. And the individual punch that he packs, he's very explosive, obviously. Donovan Mitchell as an isolation scorer is as talented as they come in the game of basketball. And if that's all the Celtics asked Jayson Tatum to do, then I would agree. I would say, yes, you could replace Jayson Tatum with the scoring of Jayson Tatum with the scoring of Donovan Mitchell, maybe. But that's just not the role Jayson Tatum has on the Celtics. He's more than that. He's the centerpiece of the offense. He's the engine. He's the one that you see all these beautiful game possessions from the Celtics. Hold, please.
The Celtics are the balls.
We'll cut that out. You see all these beautiful game possessions from the Celtics, and almost every single one of them starts exactly the same way. It's Jayson Tatum drawing two either on the short roll or in the post, or he beats his man on an ISO and kicks it out to one of our elite three-point shooters, drive and kick, wash, rinse, repeat, NBA champions. Plain and simple. And that's just not how it would work with Donovan Mitchell on there. And don't even get me started on Luka Doncic, because if you put Luka Doncic in for Jayson Tatum, then the Celtics have a weakness. And Richard, what you're forgetting is the reason why the Celtics are so dominant, the reason why they were so dominant all season long is because all the guys on the team can pass, dribble, and shoot. If you could do all three of those things and play defense, then you're a complete basketball player. There's really nothing else that you can ask a player to do. Luka obviously could pass, dribble, and shoot. Nobody's saying that, but he's a hole on defense. We saw him get attacked over and over and over again, and if he was on the Celtics, he would get attacked over and over and over again. And the reason why the Celtics defense is top 3 is going to be top 3 this year too, is because there's no one to attack. Even Pritchard, even Hauser, go for it. Good luck. You know, Pritchard holds his own against guys bigger than him, stronger than him, because he's stout. He keeps that center of gravity low, and everyone's trying Sam 24/7. He's gotten practice. That's enough practice, man. He gets tried by every player every damn day because everyone thinks that Sam is food, and Sam is not food. He proves that over and over again. That he's not food. Luka is food. He doesn't even try out there. You know, he tries like once a night to convince ESPN that he's a high energy player, but I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, because he's we saw it. We saw it. It's not just the on-ball defense. It's go watch the clips of Luka as a help defender, lost. As a switch defender, useless. You know, like, he doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know how to rotate. He doesn't communicate with his teammates. He thinks they're going to bail him out on his lazy possessions. And that makes him a bad basketball player. I'm sorry. Like, if you ever played with someone like that, like, you know that those guys hurt you. Basketball is more than, like, everyone thinks that basketball is like offense is one thing and defense is another thing. You watch Joe Mazzulla enough, you know that basketball is like alive. Offense and defense are one. If you're fast on offense and you score baskets, you get the opportunity to get your defense set and lock in harder. If you're playing bad defense, you're going to give up buckets, which means your offense has to work harder because you're going to be in the half court more, you know? And you can't just look at Luka on the offensive side of the ball or Donovan Mitchell on the offensive side of the ball and be like, this guy can replicate the pure production that Jayson Tatum does, so therefore the Celtics would be equally as talented with that player. No, you can't do that. Instead, you have to think about what the 5-man unit would look like as a living, breathing basketball organism, and how they would play and what their style would be. And Richard, to suggest Donovan Mitchell is to suggest probably the smallest starting lineup in basketball, which would obviously not be super effective. They'd get Jaylen Brown at the 4. Jaylen Brown can switch onto 4s. I've seen Jaylen Brown stand up Joel Embiid. That dude's strong as hell and only getting stronger. But to consistently put Jaylen at the 4 is asking to be out-rebounded by 85% of the teams in the league. Or what are you going to do? Bring Derek White off the bench? Bring Drew Holiday off the bench? Start Al Horford more games than he's capable of? Run him into the ground by playoff time? I don't think that's going to work either. Like, I think the moment you switch your engine with some lesser version of what you need, then you're going to introduce problems. And because of that, I have beef with Richard Jefferson now. I really hated specifically the double down. The original tweet is like not, the original statement is like not as bad. Because I don't know if they still win the championship with Donovan Mitchell, but if you got Joe Mazzulla, you're winning 50 games. So they're still winning considerably. And he probably is averaging 25 points per game because it'd probably be pretty easy for him. But for him to double down and just single out a bunch of players that are not doing the things that JT is doing on the basketball court, that upsets me. That upsets me. And I'm looking at right now, I've been doing this rant for like 13-ish minutes, and I think this is how long I want my content to be. So with that being said, I'm gonna cut the cord on my very first delusional Celtics rant. I hope this was thoroughly enjoyable to all my people. It was actually kind of fun, so I might do another one like right now. But
like the video and subscribe right now.